Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on the Interlace Chaton ring, and this ring uses one of these pretty stones, and it's kind of, you know, we use the interlace band and a little bit of the interlace charm partially, and it's a really pretty ring. It's a big baby. This is a big ring, so this is not for the faint of heart. This is if you want to go big. All right, so here's the ring. I want to show you the necklace that I made also. So here's the necklace, which is the same component as the ring. Now I had a ring, and I actually posted a ring on Facebook in the bronze colors and the Bermuda blue, but it's being borrowed to go out to dinner tonight. I'm sure the necklace would have been borrowed too if it had been done in time. So I have this silver ring, but of course you can make it in any color you want. But so here's the set right here. It's a really pretty set. For those of you, just a couple things. For those of you who are beginners, this is really not a beginner ring. The necklace I think a beginner could do, but the ring, because it requires a lot of sewing and sort of judgment and such, and how to get it, the band to fit right, and attaching the band and such. I don't know. I would never say don't try, because that's not in my vocabulary. Even when I was a super beginner, I would try the most complicated projects, and even if I didn't finish it, I got something out of it. So if you're a beginner and, maybe you don't want to do the ring, maybe you want to make the components, and maybe go to the interlace band ring video on my YouTube channel and practice with the band ring a little bit before you get started on this. But, if you want to go for it, go for it. Just don't get mad at me if you're, you get a little frustrated. Everything is a learning experience. All right, so here's the ring. Here's the necklace. The necklace is just really pretty, and it looks so pretty on the neck. So stick with me, and we'll come back. I'll clear the decks, and we'll get a materials list going. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so let's get the materials going here. So I'm going to give you the materials for the ring and the materials for the necklace. And what I'll do is I will make a video. I'm not going to make a video on the units, because the unit is the same unit as the ring. I will make a video on how to make the necklace and attach the units together and put the drop on. So in the next few days, I'll get this going for you. But in the meantime, you can make the units and have them ready for your necklace. Excuse me. All right, so you're going to need, for the ring, 11 Delicas, and these are the 18 karat gold hex cut Delicas. I love the hex cut for this. I didn't use it on the silver, but they're really pretty. I used it on the bronze. I used it here. Some 15-0 seed beads, and I'm using metallic bronze. So if you notice the contrast here, I like that dark and light contrast. It gives a little dimension to the piece. 11-0 seed beads, and these are 457 Miyukis. These are too. I put the number of this in the description box. You're going to need a SS47 Rivoli, or Chaton. So the Chaton is, here it is if you haven't seen one before. It's a beautiful stone. The difference between the two is that the Rivoli has all the facets come to a point in the center of the stone. And with the Chaton, it has a flat surface right here. Okay, kind of like, regular jewelry, like a diamond or something. And it has quite a long point in the back compared to the Rivoli. So you can use either one. This is an 11 millimeter. This is a 10 or a 10.5 if you're using I think a Swarovski is a 10.5. They both fit with the same size bezel. Okay. You'll need some 4 millimeter pearls. I'm using white. You'll need some 3 millimeter pearls. You'll need a stop bead. You'll need some beading thread. I'm using Wildfire. You can substitute your fire line, that's fine also. You need a size 11 beading needle and a 12. So as we get towards the end of the ring, you might need a 12 to get through some of these tight spaces. Have them both around. All right, so that's what you're going to need for the ring. So for the necklace, you're going to need 3 of the already created components. So of course use the ring video and make your 3 components. You're going to need an 11 by 8 millimeter pear drop, and that's this right here, and that's a Swarovski. You'll need 4 millimeter pearls for the necklace part, and I'll put the amount in the description box below the video. You're going to need an 8 millimeter crystal or fire polish bead, or whatever you like for your closure. I'm just doing a loop and crystal closure. I kind of like that on these types of necklaces. You know, just simple. I like simple, especially when this part is not so, is a little more, you know, intricate. You'll need some 4 millimeter bicones, and 2, 4, 5, you need 6, 7 of those. Okay, you'll need some, let's see, 11 OC beads, and these are to go in between the pearls. All right, so that's what you'll also need actually some 3 millimeter bicones too, just a couple. We're going to put them on the closure here. So you need, you know, 4 of them, let's say. All right, so that's what you're going to need. So if you want to make, as I said, the necklace video, I'll try to get up at the beginning of next week sometime. And it's just going to be connecting the components. And so make sure you have them made and ready to go. All right? Okay, so gather up your materials and get started making the ring. See you in a few. Okay, so thread your needle with about 5 feet of thread. Put on a stop bead and leave about a 12-inch tail, because we're going to use that tail to sew some 15-0s on in the middle of our bezel. Put on your thread 26 Delicas. Now I just wanted to mention that this ring I used hex cut Delicas, and this one I didn't. I love the hex cut with this. It's so pretty. It sparkles. It's like facets. So if you can get the hex Delicas, I would suggest you use those. They're just so pretty. All right, so I have 26 Delicas on my thread. You know, I've dropped them down to my stop bead. I'm just going to make that into a circle by sewing up the first 2, just like that. That's what you have. I'm going to try to pull in super, super tight. Hopefully that won't blur. Okay, we're going to do a Peyote Bezel. Pick up a Delica. Coming out of a Delica, skip 1, pass through the next, and give it a pull. You want that Delica to sit right on top of the previous one. Okay? Pick up a Delica. You're coming out of this one. Skip the next one, go through the next one. Just like that. That's what it looks like. Pick up a Delica. Coming out of this one, skip this one, come through the next one. Just like that. Do it one more time. Pick up a Delica. You're coming out of here, skip this one, go through the next one, just like that. Okay, so then continue that all the way around and stop a couple of beads before the end, and I'll show you how to step up. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so I'm a couple of beads from the end, so I'll do this with you. So here I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to skip this one, go through this one. Like that. Now we're going to step up. So pick up a Delica. I'm going to pull in super, super tight, a little bit more. Okay. Coming out of this Delica, skip this one, come through the next one, and then the one on the diagonal. See that? One on the diagonal on the outside of your circle. See that? And that's going to step you up. Hold that for a second. Right. So when I pull, I'm ready to put some more beads on. So then just pick up a Delica and go through every sticking out Delica. So pick up one, go through the sticking out Delica. Pick up another one, go through the next sticking out Delica. Pick up another one. Go for the next. Just like that. So do that all the way around, and then meet me back here a couple of beads before the end, and we'll step up one more time. All right, seeing a few. All right, so I'm coming to the end of this round. So here I'm going to come through my next bead, and I'm going to step up again. So here's my Delica. I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go through this one and then the one on the diagonal, just like that. And I'm not worried about it not curving at the moment. We're going to make it curve. So there we go. All right, so you're going to put one more round of Delicas on. But before we do that, see, this is this part where the tail thread's coming out. So I'm just going to take my thumb here, and I'm just going to give it a little pull, because that's going to be the front of it, just like that, just to make it start curving a little bit. You don't want to curve it crazy right now. I mean, it really will be fine and it will curve, so just give it a little pull, and then you see how that just starts curving on its own. All right, so then I'll put on your last round of Delicas. So pick up a Delica, come through every sticking out Delica. You can put it on your finger if that makes it easier for you to get them on. You can put them on put it on a pencil, or sometimes a Sharpie works really well for this size. I'm just going to put one Delica on in between each sticking out Delica. Okay, just like we were doing before. So get this last round on, and then just, curve it lightly, just like that, and then meet me back here, and we'll start some 15-ohs. All right, seen a few. Okay, I'm coming down to the end, so I just have it on my finger at this point, so I'm just getting ready to step up. So I have another Delica that goes on, just like that, and then I'm going to step up right here. So I'm going to skip this one, come through this one, and the one on the diagonal, just like that. And that gives me all my 11-ohs. So get to this point and then meet me back here, and we'll start putting some 15-ohs on. All right, seeing a few. Okay, back. So I'm going to just put the thread that and needle I was using aside, and I'm going to take off the tail thread, the stop bead off the tail thread and thread a needle, or just take the needle off your other thread. And we're going to put some 15-ohs on here. So we're coming out of a Delica. Just take a 15-oh and come on through. I find that sometimes it's just easier to put this first round of 15-ohs on before you put the stone on. Sometimes it's easier to get the stone in before. I mean, that sort of depends on, on you and how your bezel is turning out. So I'm just going to just keep going around with my 15-ohs. Just like that. All right, so keep going around until you get to a few beads before the end, and then we'll pop the stone in. All right, seeing a few. Okay, so I'm a few beads before the end, and I'm just going to see how the stone goes in. Now, it could go in very easily, or it could be a little loose. Depends on, how tight your bezel is at this point. Mine's a little loose, but I'm just going to hold it like that. See, so it's kind of wonky at the moment, but I'm just going to put my last couple of seed beads on here, and then I'm going to tighten it up when I start the other side. So here I'm coming to the last bead here, so I'm coming out of this Delica. I'm just going to step up by coming through the next one. Get this so you can see it. The next one, and the first 15-oh I put on, and I'm just holding it. The stone will pop right out if I let go of it at this point. All right, so there you go. Now I'm just going to turn it on the other side. I'm just going to leave that for now and hold it. If your stone falls out, don't worry about it. You can pop it back in again. Like, don't freak out over it. It's just a bezel. All right, so I'm just going to move this around. So pick up, get your 15-ohs, get a few more, and then do a round of 15-ohs on the back. Okay, so here, just come through every sticking out Delica. Just hold it with your finger, just like that. Give it a pull inward. Just like that. And there's like sort of a, what I call a sweet spot where it really starts to click and it gets nice and tight. And that might be half of them around, might be a third of them, or all of them. So just keep going around and then maybe back here a few before the end, and we'll play with it to make sure that the stone is sitting really nicely. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so I'm going to put on the last round, the last couple of beads of this round. So I'm coming out of my Delica. Right there. Put on a 15-0, come through the next Delica. I'm going to pull in, get 15-0, come through the next Delica, and step up through the 15-0. See that? Pull it in. And now that's, your bezel is complete on the back. But what I want to do now is I want to cover this foil backing here. And the Chaton has a pretty pointy back, so to keep your, to keep it from poking your finger, we'll cover it. And it also protects the stone. I actually didn't do it on this one, but I'm worried that the stone, the color might come off when it's, if it gets in contact with your finger. All right, so pick up 3 15-0s. I'm going to use actually you can't see my beads here. Okay, so I'm going to use a contrasting color just to show you because that's so reflective. So 3 15-0s in silver. I'm putting a contrasting blue one on, and then 3, so that's 7 15-0s. You don't have to do the contrasting color. You can just do your 7. So I'm coming out of a 15-0. Come through number 1. Count 1. The one you're coming out of, 2, 3, come through number 4. Just like that. Pop that on like that. Do that again, pick up 7. Count the one you're coming out of, 2, 3, 4. Come through that one. 7. Count the one you're coming out of, 2, 3. Come through number 4. Just like that. Pick up 7. Count the one you're coming out of, 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually we're going to go one more on the last one, just so that we get to this one right here. Okay, just like that. So that puts it on like so. And then what you want to do is you want to come up, so you're coming out of this little 15-0 right here. You want to come up to that point bead right here. And mine's in a color. Yours will be bead number 4. Just like that. So see how that's going to pull in. So let's see, let's add 3 15-0s come through the next point. Now I'm doing this as we are working, so I'm thinking 3 might be too much. I'm not sure. Let's go with 2. So to put on 2 15-0s, come through the next 15-0. Oh, that might work. 2 15-0s. Come through that next 15-0. Yeah, I think that's going to work. 2 15-0s. Come through the next center 15-0. 2 15-0s. Come through this one. That's the original. Just like that. And give it a pull. So when you give it a nice pull, it just covers the back a bit. Now it's kind of hard to see. And then you've made sort of a diamond shape here. Just go around all your beads to tighten everybody up. Just like that. That. And you want to keep doing this until it's, so go around a few times till it's super tight, and that way the back is pretty much covered, so that it's not going to lay on your finger and it's not going to lose its color. So I'm just going around. Okay, so you don't need me to do that whole thing. So just keep doing that, and then you know you're pretty much covered now. Okay, all right. So then meet me back here, and we'll start working on the embellishment. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so the back is done, and now we want to move our thread to the side here so we can start the embellishment. So I'm coming out of one of these center beads here. There are 4 that I just did a different color. You'll just be coming out of that same bead. Just come up the 3 side beads. I'm trying to pull in super tight for this. Just like that. Come through this 15-0 right there. Right? So I'm working my way to this center Delica right here. All right, so I'm coming out of the 15-0. I'm just going to come, let's see, come through this one. And then I'm going to come across through this one, just like that. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to start my embellishment, but I just want to show you where I'm going to put it so you have an idea of where it's going each time. So if you look in this row here, there are 3 Delicas. Then the next one, there are 2 Delicas. Then there are 3, then there are 2. And it just alternates that way. So you want to be coming out of that middle Delica of the little group of 3. Pick up 3 11-0s. Just come through the next middle Delica, just like that. I'm just going to back off a teeny bit. And that's going to place your embellishment on. See, just like that. So then, just with your needle and thread, come through the next Delica in line. Just like that. So then you're going to pick up 3. Coming out of this one, just go through the next one. Just like that. You're going to just needle through the next one. Pick up 3. Put on 3 more. And if they don't, make a little sort of picot, just pull them so they do. So here, that's how it goes. So do this until you have 6 on, and then we'll put on number 7 together. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so I have 6 of my little units on. So at this point, I'm going to slip my needle through the next Delica, because we're going to add 1 more on here. It doesn't look like it fits, but it does. I promise. Okay, so you're coming through that next one, and then take 3, and what you're going to do at this point is just going to come around the other side of that same Delica you're coming out of, just to put those 3 beads on. And it fits in there perfectly. All right? And then what I want you to do at this point is to secure this, come up the side seed bead and the top seed bead, down this bottom seed bead, We're just going back the way we came through the Delica. Just want to secure this last one on, see how that makes it nice and tight. And then back up the side and the top, just like that. Alright, so here we are. This is what we have. So grab your pearls and some 15-ohs. So pick up a 15-oh, a pearl, and a 15-oh. And these are your 4mm pearls coming out of the tip of this unit, the top seed bead of this unit. Just come through the next one. Pick up a 15-oh, a pearl, and a 15-oh. Just come through the next one. Pick up a 15-oh, pearl, 15-oh, the next one, just like that. Okay, so go all the way around and then meet me like one pearl before the end and we'll finish it off together. Alright, see you in a few. Okay, I'm one before the end, so let's do it together. 15-oh pearl, 15-oh, come through the top seed bead of the next unit, the pearl, the 15-oh, the pearl. Go through one more group, 15-oh, 11-oh, 15-oh, and come out of a pearl, and just to tighten it up, just like that. Alright, so this is what you have. Now take an 11-oh and come through each pearl. So you're coming out of a pearl, enter a pearl. Don't worry about if it's loose, we're going to pull this and it's going to cup and make a really nice little unit. 11-oh. Make sure you get through your pearl. Pick up an 11-oh. Through the next pearl. So do that all the way around and then meet me back here and we'll pull it all together and make it cup. Alright, see you in a few. Okay, so I have all my 11-ohs on, so I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to hold my finger on it and I'm just going to pull in the direction my thread is coming out. See, just like that. And what that does is it just pulls all the beads together, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so you want to make sure you give it a nice tug. At this point you can go through a few of your beads just to tighten it up a little bit. Alright, just like that. So this is what we have. Alright, so get to this point and then meet me back here and we're going to embellish these pearls. Alright, see you in a few. Okay, so I've done all my 11-ohs. I've pulled it really tight. It's cupped nicely. Looks great. Now, I'm going to do this little embellishment that goes around the pearls. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it like this and put the band on. I think it's just as pretty. We're just going for the whole thing. All right. So, coming out of a 11-oh, a pearl. So here we go. Just like that. Just going to hold it this way just because I can access these pearls and the 11-ohs in between them easily. So I'm coming out of the pearl. I'm going to pick up 7 15-ohs. Just like that. I'm just going to come back around that same pearl by coming through the other side of the pearl. Pull those on. Then I'm going to advance through the 11-oh and the next pearl. Just like that. Pick up 7 15-ohs. Coming out of one end of the pearl, just going to go around like so. Advance through the 11-oh and the pearl. 7 15-ohs. Coming out of this side of the pearl, let's come around. Advance through the 11-oh and the pearl. That's what it looks like. So you just do that all the way around and then meet me at the end, and we're going to do this little embellishment, this little point up here. So at this, right now they're sort of rounded and a little loose. So we're going to go through the beads again and make this little point stick out. So it makes it tight and it looks pretty. All right, so go all the way around and then meet me back here at the end and we'll do the next round. All right, so I'm on my last pearl. So here I'm just putting on my 7/15. I come through the pearl, just like that. Let's go through one more pearl. So everybody's on tight. This is what it looks like. You can certainly leave it at this point, but I'm going to make that little center bead pop up. So to do that, I'm coming out of the pearl. I'm just going to come up 3 of my seed beads. So I'm sort of reversing direction here, coming back up through these 3, just like that. I'm going to skip number 4 and then come down the other 3, just like that. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put my needle through that tip bead that I skipped and pull my thread. And do you see what that does? It makes it pop up and it really kind of secures everything nicely. And I'm just going to come back through the 11/0, excuse me, the pearl, the 11/0, and the next pearl. I'm going to do the same thing here. Tightens everybody up. I'm going to come up the first 3, just like that. Skip number 4, come down the last 3. I'm going to go back, pop up that bead, a little tug, come back through the pearl, the 11/0 and the pearl, okay, just like that. So see, here's the difference. You have these 2 little points, and then this one is and these are nice and, you know, more secure. So just do that all the way around, and when you come to the end, you'll be done with the, you know, with the top of the ring, and then we'll go on to make the band. So we'll sew this in and we'll make the band separately. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So we're going to get the band on now. So I just want to show you the band, a piece that I have in progress here. So we're going to do either side, and then we're going to connect like that. All right. So to measure for your band, this is where we're going to connect, is about 1/2 inch. We're going to use these outside seed beads, 11/0s right here. So that's about 1/2 inch. So measure your finger. Just put a piece of paper on your finger, and then measure the paper. I have about a 2.5 inch piece that I need to make. So this is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to make each side 1 inch. You can adjust it a little bit at the end by taking a couple of beads off or adding some. So I'm just going to put this one aside, and I just want to show you how we're going to attach on the component. So wherever you have a thread coming out, you know, we'll just move it to where it needs to be. So what I'm going to do here is the band is going to be attached differently on either end, because we don't have an even number of beads of pearls around here to attach to. So we're going to be using this sort of triangular shape of beads here. So these 2 pearls and this one. So that triangle, so one end of the band is going to come out this way and the other end is going to come out this way. And I'm going to turn it this way. We're going to be using these seed beads. So here's the triangle again, pearl here, pearl here, pearl here. That's where one end. And we're going to use these 3 seed beads here and these 2 to attach. So make sure your thread is coming out of this seed bead. So these 3 coming out of this end one. Pick up 3 11/0s. Come around. And you might have to maneuver your, you know, angle your needle a little bit, because these are pretty tight component. This is a pretty tight component. All right, just like that. Going to come down the side seed bead that I just put on. The bottom seed bead. Just like that. And then I want you to come through this seed bead, the other side seed bead. I'm going to have to back off a teeny bit. Okay, just like that. So I'm just coming around the unit, just like that. And then I want you to needle your way through this pearl, this seed bead, this pearl, and this seed bead. So now it might take a little bit of maneuvering to get through, but you should be able to. It's not that it's really tight in there. It is a little tight. It's just the angle. So here I'm just going to get through my pearl. And I have a little lotion on my hands, so I'm having a little trouble getting through. And I've also switched to a size 12 beading needle. So here, I put that on. I'm going to come through this one. Just like that. I'm going to come through the next pearl. Just work your needle through it. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a little encouragement, just like that. And then I'm going to come through this one. This is the only part that's going to be like really a little tough to get through, but your needle will go through. All right, so then we have this on here, and we're going to take 3 11-ohs, and we're going to come back through to put a unit on here, just like that. So now we have 2 units on. See? Oops. See how they're, if I hold it this way, the band's going to come down this way. Come through the side seed bead, and the bottom seed bead. I've already come through both. Okay, so I've come through the side and the bottom, just like that. All right, then I'm going to pick up a pearl. Oops, actually no, I'm not. I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs, and I'm going to turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. So see that? I'm coming out of this seed bead. I'm just going to come around, just like that. I'm going to pick up a pearl, come through the bottom seed bead of this unit way over here. I mean, it looks like it's not going to fit, and it is a long way over, but we're going to pull it together, and it's going to make the band, and the band will fit just fine. So just have faith. Okay, so here we are, just like that. So I'm coming out of here, whoops, here, come around this way. Just like that. And just give it a pull, so it pulls it together. Just like that, see? Come down the side seed bead and the bottom seed bead, just like that. And make sure you get yours nice and tight. It's kind of hard for me to be on camera and make it super tight. Okay, so here we go. Hold it like this. That's what it looks like. Pick up 3 11-ohs, coming out of here. Come around. Pick up a pearl. Come through the next seed bead from the next unit. Pick up 3 11-ohs, coming out of the end there. Just come around, come through, just like that. Like I'm saying, you'll be pulling yours nice and tight. Mine are coming out okay too. Side seed bead and bottom seed bead. Okay, put on another unit. Like that. Pick up a pearl. Bottom seed bead of the next unit. Like that. And then just keep doing that, you know, alternating back and forth. Here, I'll put one more. 1, 2, 3. And it looks wonky at first, just like all the interlaced stuff does. But as you get your, you know, as the band grows, see it's starting to straighten out a little bit. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like on the inside. It sort of pops up a little bit, and that's what you want. You want it to pop up so that the component is on top of the band. So you want it, do you see how it's on top, just like that? So that's just what you want. So go ahead and continue making that piece as long as you need it, an inch, you know, 3/4 of an inch. Make sure you're keeping it nice and tight and straight, and then meet me back here and we'll start the piece on this side. All right, see you in a few. Back. So we're going to do the other side now, and we're going to actually, after we're done, we're going to, this band, because see how it's little coming down a little bit here, we're going to actually connect that second pearl, this one here, to that 11/0 seed bead right in the center there, just like that. So we're just going to add on a little bit. We'll call that a little house cleaning at the end. So that way it's going to hold the piece up like that. All right, so we'll do that in a little bit. All right, so thread your needle, I don't know, 1.5 feet or so. Leave a bit of a tail, because we may add some beads around the edges here. So I want you to have enough to do that. So leave, I don't know, leave about 14 inches. And so put on maybe 2 feet. All right, so here we have this part secured at this moment. So now we want to do this one. So we want to use these 2 seed beads. So I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side with just these 2. So I'm going to put my thread on just like that. I'm going to add 3 beads, 11/0. I'm going to come around just like that. I'm going to come down the side seed bead and the bottom. So I'm just putting these 2 right angle weave units on. Just like that. I'm going to come back up the side, just like that. And don't worry about if it's loose. And just come through the pearl, just like that. And the seed bead if you can get both. If not, just do one. And see how easy that went through. Often when you see me struggling trying to get through some beads, it's because of my mad video skills. I often do 5 different takes. I think I'm on number 5 on this one. So I cut it off, and then my beads get full, and then I go through it again. My beads get full. That won't happen to you. You should be able to get through these beads without a problem. All right, and that's why my thread gets sort of wonky sometimes too, because I've done it so many times, because maybe I've gone out of frame. So, you know, just a little heads up on that. So here I have this group on. I'm just going to I'm coming out of this one. I'm going to come back through. And again, you have to sort of angle your needle a little bit. Just like that. Come down the side and the bottom. Just like that. And I'm going to hold it. I'm trying to hold it so you can see it really well, but getting the first one on is always a little bit wonky. So here I'm going to take, okay, there you go, my pearl and just come through the, actually no I'm not. I'm going to take 3 11/0. I'm going to come back, put another unit on. Okay, now I'm going to take my pearl, come through the bottom seed bead of the next unit, just like that. And here I'll hold it this way, just like that, see? Then take 3 11/0, come around, coming out of here, come around, just like that. Come through the side seed bead, and the bottom seed bead, 3 11/0, come around, up a pearl, come through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Let's see, that's going to be putting on my interlace band on this side. So pick up 3 11-ohs. Come around. Just like that. Come through the side seed bead and the bottom seed bead. Put on another unit. So here we go. Alright, so then keep doing that until that side is the right length, and then meet me back here and we're going to sew them together. Alright, see you in a few. Okay, we're back, and here's my piece. So I've picked up the other one that I had already completed. And what I want you to do is, at the ends, I just want a pearl showing. So I'm at this point now. I'm just going to pop on a pearl. So this is how I want your ends to look. So do it on both sides. Okay, I just wanted to tell you that. So I'm going to go off camera. Actually, I'm going to do it on this side and then meet me back here and we'll sew it together. Okay, there we go. So I have, this is my end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it. I'll just hold it around my finger. Let me just put it like, let's see, like that. Just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here are my two pieces. So I'm just going to make a right angle weave unit to connect these. Alright, so see I've got, let me pull in a little bit. I've got these two beads here, my thread's coming out of here. Just going to come through this one. Just like that. I'm going to pick up another bead. I'm going to come through the original bead I was coming out of. Just like that. If I get my needle through. There we go. And that's just going to make, see what that does? It just puts those two beads on. And I'm going to pull. That's going to make my unit. Come up the side bead, that unit, the top bead, the pearl, and the bottom seed bead of the next unit. Just like that. And then I'm going to pick up a bead coming out of here. I'm going to come through this one. Pick up another 11-oh, come back through the top one. Just like that. And that completes my ring. So now I want you to reinforce this a little bit. So come around the side and the bottom, come across the pearl, like that, and just go do that. I do that, you know, as you know, go all the way down, or you know, as far as you can. So here, come through these, like that, and this is going to tighten up the band. Come through here, and I'm going to do that all the way around until I get to one end. Actually, let's do it, well, you can do it, actually you can do it to the end with the, where we're going to connect. I've already connected this pearl to this 11-oh, but you can work your way around the band to get to that point. Alright, so do that and then meet me back here and we'll put on one more final embellishment. Alright, see you in a few. Right, back for a second. So I'm coming down to the end here where I want to attach, actually, yeah, well, I actually want to attach my number 2 pearl, okay? So here's number 2 right here. I thought I attached it, but I guess I didn't. All right. So come through here, come out the pearl, just like that. So I'm going to hold it this way, just like that. So there's, then I'm going to kind of push it up a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to come through that 11-0. It's in between the 2 pearls, just like that. See how that pulls the band up? Immediately, it pulls it right up. See that? Whoop. All right. And it's just going to make the band sit better. Okay? So then come back through the pearl, just like that. Don't get caught. I can't tell if I'm caught there. Just like that. And then go back through the 11-0 again. I'm not going to do it right now, but do you see how that makes the band sit nicely, so that when I put it on, it's going to sit nice and straight. See? All right. So we have one more embellishment left to do. Okay, so I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to pull out my 15-0s. Now, I don't remember whether you have a thread. If you have a thread coming out, so let's say you did this pearl embellishment thing, all right, so come on out through one of the side seed beads here. And then what you can do if you want, you can just pick up a 15-0 and put a 15-0 in between every 11-0. And what this does is you don't want to pull too tight on this. You want to keep this relatively loose. Actually, you want to keep it quite loose, because you can pull it tight and then it will curve it in too much. You don't want to use an 11-0 because the 11-0 will stretch the band out. I mean, you could try the 11-0, but I just find it works better with this 15-0. Just like that. All right, so then it kind of, you know, I mean, this is pretty lacy on this side. I like that, but you can do it this way. So this one I did putting the 15-0s all the way around. So you're going to have to sort of judge how much you pull these 15-0s, because if you can very well pull, see what happens if you pull it too tight. So you want to keep it super loose if you put them on. All right, so here we go. Finish that up, and then meet me back here, and we'll look at our ring. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back, and here's our ring. So that was an ordeal, huh? Really is not so bad. It's just, there's a lot of sort of picky, sticky work in making the ring. The necklace is a lot easier, believe it or not. It's just this band that is, you know, you really have to make sure you get it right and that you pull tight, and, you know, it takes a bit of practice to get this ring. So don't be, you know, stressed out if it doesn't come out right the first time, if you have to sort of pull the band out and do it again. It's, you know, that's just all part of learning how to do this. If you're, you know, if you're not that experienced with this, I would never say don't do it. You know, I always say try. If you find that it's getting too frustrating, then you know, just stop and then maybe play with the band for a little bit, or, you know, play with the component. Make the necklace. The necklace is really not stressful, very easy to make. So here you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. The ring to this to the pretty bronze necklace is out to dinner. It will be out to dinner tonight. All right, so take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.